Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Technion President, Professor Uri Sivan, Janet Polak, Robert Polak, and Olivia Polak. Professor Idorol, here, okay, from my faculty, Faculty of Education in Science and Technology, faculty members, and dear guests. It's my pleasure to welcome you today to the dedication ceremony for the Polak Family Distance Learning Studio. My name is Professor Orit Chazan. I'm honored to be your Master of Ceremony. I'm a professor at the Faculty of Education in Science and Technology. My research deals with computer science, software engineering, and data science education, and I was former Dean of Undergraduate Studies. I'm happy to see you all today to witness this inauguration. This is particularly exciting as distance learning is a concept that has gained significant popularity over the past few years, creating high-quality teaching materials that are not possible in the traditional classroom, whilst maintaining our position as a global leader in the field. In response to the changed role of higher education, the Technion has proactively established a Center for the Promotion of Learning and Teaching, a bold and innovative initiative that is transforming the learning experience for Israel's brightest minds, our students. But the key advantage of the new Polak Family Distance Learning Studio is that it will allow students more flexibility, which can help them with family commitments, work-related time constraints, and the convenience of learning materials that can be obtained online at any time. The use of video conferencing tools makes online learning even more immersive. And now I would like to welcome Professor Uri Sivan, our president, to speak.
Hello, everybody. It's really a pleasure being here, and I have to say that I feel among family, right? I mean, we've met 2 weeks ago, I guess, in LA, and we've met 3 months ago in New York. And Olivia, we met for the first time, but not for the last one. The Polak family stands apart in both its devotion to the Technion. As you can see, it's a multi-generational devotion to the Technion, and the unique impact you have had in strengthening our work on behalf of Israel. Your support over the past decades, and it's really decades, has helped make the Technion what it is today. You know, many times I'm trying to reflect, well, what is really a university? What's this elusive entity? And I came to the conclusion that it's essentially a tapestry made out of all those who interacted, contributed to the university, affected them in any way. Could be students, could be faculty, could be our supporters and friends. So you have a place of honor in this tapestry. And it goes from the endowing Professor Aaron Chechanover's position to our visitor center bearing your family name. And I wish David was here, and I wish Jeff was here, the rest of the family. The Polaks have been inseparable from Technion. For how you partner with us, please accept our heartfelt thank you. During my first trip to the United States as a president, just before the pandemic, it was November 2019, Janet, you, David, and Jeff were among the first ATS friend supporters I met. I fondly recall the warm welcome. Over the past 3 years, it has developed into a beautiful friendship, I have to say, via Zoom, partially, but most meaningfully in person. I cherished our most recent lunch, during which you and David recalled your early days of involvement with the Technion. It was actually fascinating. It was new to me. It was fascinating. The visits to the campus and a long-standing friendship created with faculty and administration. as I said before, I wish David and Jeff were here with us. Janet, you and David have instilled important Jewish values in your children. Jeff and Rob and grandchildren, Alexa, Ethan, and Olivia. And we are honored to have Rob and Olivia with us today. You have taught them the importance of giving back to the community and to supporting Israel. You're caring for Israel's future, and I have to say that in every meeting this caring comes out so clearly. So your caring for Israel's future is expressed through your philanthropic commitments from Technion to FIDF and Ben Gurion University, and the list continues. The Polak Family Distance Learning Studio, the newest addition to the list, will help us revolutionize how we teach students in Israel and worldwide. And I have to say that to support that, you need sophisticated supporters, those that understand the rapid changes that take place in the academic world. It will provide the highest quality of academic teaching and learning, which has always been at the core of our mission. This state-of-the-art studio is critical to maintaining the quality of and access to teaching so that every Technion student can achieve their greatest potential. And this is a very important, when we say every Technion student, the Technion is in many cases not accessible to many students. Students from the periphery or students in military service and so on and so forth. And this is a way actually to connect to them, to help them, and eventually see them here. Moreover, the studio will allow us to increase our capacity to produce first-class online conferences while reaching individuals worldwide. This capacity is of particular importance as lifelong learning become an integral part of the professional careers of our graduates. And we are now working extensively on lifelong learning, namely how to connect with our graduates years later, help them update their knowledge and resume the interaction with them. The studio will help maintain the connection with our alumni globally, as I mentioned. I wish to thank you once again for the many years of support and generosity towards the Technion. I look forward to continuing our friendship and partnership to strengthen Technion in Israel for years to come. And the next 2 years are going to be especially exciting as we are approaching our first centennial. 2 years from now, the Technion, the oldest university in the country, will celebrate its 100 years. And this is a respectful age, I would say. So I truly look forward to seeing you again. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Sivan. And I would like to welcome Professor Ido Rol from the Faculty of Education in Science and Technology.
Dear President, Orit, Mrs. Polak, Mr. Polak, and young Miss Polak, I'll try to keep it short. It's kind of maybe a bit boring. Though we're going to get to the magic school bus soon. Are you a fan? It's important, sure. So, well, as we all know around here, higher education faces some very significant challenges nowadays, not only because of the pandemic, that somehow this studio oversaw the changes, but also because of what we want our graduates to be and the challenges of climate and gaps and all the other things. And this is true for all higher education. And what is interesting in the Technion response is that maybe typically what we chose to do is to innovate. And rather than playing tag with reality and trying to catch up, we let's look at a holistic picture proactively. And the Polak Distance Learning Studio is a prime example and a pillar in our approach toward that. And I think what I want to emphasize, and Professor Sivan talked a little bit about that, is that producing video is actually pretty easy. Right? We all learn how to stand in front of our webcams and be Robert Redfords and Julia Roberts. And what we try to do with this studio is rather than imitating an instructor in front of class, is actually we try to take learning outside the classroom. We can take the students to Mars or inside molecules or the depth of the oceans, and we can do things that we cannot do otherwise. So our hope for this studio is not just to imitate the classroom experience, but actually to augment them in ways that were not possible before. So that is pretty huge. It means that we want to create high-quality educational content that is better than the classroom equivalent, which is very different than just being as good as we can. Now, the other thing is that these resources allow us to create new hybrid modes of instruction. So that's, I talked about the content itself, but once we have such high quality content, we can innovate in the structure of how we teach. We can innovate in what classrooms mean, what discipline means, and we can connect people from globally, right around the world. So that means that this room actually has the potential to really help us innovate in how we teach, and without it, we're kind of stuck. So for that, essentially, I just really want to thank you guys. Because it's truly transformational. I'm very curious to see what we will do with this, and I assume that we will keep innovating with the studios themselves, changing maybe what we envision now we'll find in a couple of years need also adjustments. And I look forward to see what we'll do with these, the sort of learning experiences we'll be able to produce, and really thank you for enabling this. And that's about it.
And I would like now to welcome a friend, an old friend and loyal supporter of the Technion, Mrs. Janet Polak, to say a few words. Thank you so much.
Thank you. First of all, I'm very happy to be here today and to see all of you and to be with my son, Rob, who is in his own right a major supporter of the Technion and part of our family foundation, and my dear granddaughter, Olivia, who you've met. 30 years ago, this month, my husband David and I paid our first visit to the Technion. And on the tour, we visited a center where lectures on some of the basic courses by distinguished professors were taped and recorded. They were available to the students who, for various reasons, were unable to attend the original lecture in the classroom. So today, we are honored to be here with the dedication of the Polak Distance Learning Center, which will allow the Technion to meet its urgent needs, online learning needs, while also serving as a building block for transforming learning for tomorrow. And believe me, I'm sure it will, when I see it, will be light years ahead of what we witnessed 30 years ago. COVID highlighted the need for quality online learning for the students, in addition to creating opportunities for Technion to connect with others around the world. Prior to this studio being established, the university didn't have the capacity to produce high-quality videos and digital courses or the pace needed to do so. And this studio, I understand, will now give the Technion the ability to enhance the classroom experience and serve as a space to explore how digital and virtual space can be used to teach and train individuals. This is a one-of-a-kind platform for the highest quality digital-based education for the foreseeable future, and will also pave the way for other projects of importance to the Technion. So I'm glad to be here, and I'm excited to see the center. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And now I would like all of you to join us to the Polak Family Distance Learning Studio to unveiling the plaque.
1, 2, 3.